Hello and welcome back to my nail corner. I am going to jump right in today because I have something exciting to share with you guys, and that is the Triple D Delicate Dip Liquids. For those of you who have not heard about these, I'm really excited to share them with you today. So there are a lot of gals out there who suffer from dip flu. Now, a lot of people have varying reactions. I tend to wake up the next day, oddly enough, with like sniffles and congestion in the morning. If I've used dip liquids, it doesn't bother me too much, but it would be definitely a nice thing to avoid. So I was really excited that Triple D came out with these dip liquids that are intended to ease the suffering of dip flu sufferers. So this was my very first impressions on using these liquids. Now, just like with any brand change of dip liquids, you're gonna find that they perform a little bit differently. Some are more similar than others, and some have a bigger learning curve. So I wanted to do my very first mani using these liquids in a recorded format so I could show you guys my experience and what I learned through that process to make your first go at it even smoother. So I am using two dips by Triple D. This is called Denim Dreams, and the glitter I'm going to use is called Disco Dreams, I believe. Oddly enough, both dreams named dips. Total coincidence. Just I looked at swatches and these were the ones that I wanted to use. They went together beautifully. So if you can see, yes, I just knocked the lid of the dip jar into my nail, which did cause a little disruption to the dip that was on my nails. And that is going to be my first indication for you guys that the dip base, the delicate dip base, I'm going to stumble over that so many times during this recording, you guys be warned. It is very slow drying. So that is a little bit of an adjustment. Additionally, it's a nice thin consistency, like no thinner than I'd say maybe a tiny bit thinner than the regular Triple D dip base, but I don't know whether the brush was picking up more liquid than I was used to or what, but you can see the nail is still, it looks wet. Like it just kept absorbing more and more dip powder. So I was like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. And then I was a little bit timid to brush off the excess because I did hear that it was a very slow drying base. So you do want to be careful with that. With your first application, make sure you give it plenty of time to kind of set, and then cautiously brush off that excess and just make sure you're not going to ruin your dip with that first brush off, especially. Also, less is more. So I went in for my second base application and I still hadn't quite figured it out. And for the first time in like so long, I flooded my cuticles, you guys. But I want you guys to watch this. I did speed it up a little bit because I was working a little bit slower than usual just because I was new to these liquids and was trying them out. But you can see I like dipped and dipped and dipped and dipped some more. But there I've flooded my cuticle. Well, that's what this precision tool is fan-freaking-tastic for. I just cleaned up the excess, and when I file and buff, I will clean up the rest, and it applied beautifully in the end. Actually, like I was doing this mani and I thought like, what a hot mess I am making out of this. But in the end, this has been one of my favorite recent manis. I love this color. Again, Denim Dreams. It's like this beautiful, like, I wouldn't say blue leaning teal. That's what I would say. And it's just gorgeous. And I know right now it looks messy, number one, because I'm making a mess with the new liquids, and also because it's on my skin. But you'll see when I come back after filing and buffing, this did not leave like staining and like a big mess on my fingers at all. So make sure you stay tuned and like pay attention to that in the end. I'll try to draw your attention to it. So here with the glitter, I'm going in with the same as my normal chunky glitter application, where I'm going to pour over the first layer, and then lay into the glitter for the second one. Now again, keep in mind that this base is a much slower drying base. I'm really looking forward to using this base to do like ombres and things like that, because the slow drying time gives you so much time to manipulate the nail art that you're doing. So again, I would be cautious with that first application. I was really careful I didn't want to like tap the glitters at all because I felt like it would move everything around on my nail. I felt like once I had that first layer down, the second layer was less, I don't want to say finicky. It just maybe dried quicker. So a trick that I've seen, and maybe I'll try in the future, is some gals will lay a layer of dip base down first, let that dry, and then apply dip base and dip their first dip. So for some reason, it's like that barrier of having your first layer of base dry on its own. It's like it makes the second one, I don't know, just react differently. So I might give that a try and just see what that variable does to the application. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and finish my chunky glitter application again, pouring over the first, laying my finger into the second, and then I'm going to cap all of these in clear. You will see that I continue to just kind of make a mess. Now, that being said, I do want to let you guys know I have used these liquids for 3 manis now since this first one, and I just have learned to put way less base on the brush. It goes a long way. And so I've had great application. I haven't flooded my cuticles or made a mess of it since then. They've worked beautifully. So if you're someone who suffers from dip flu, I would highly recommend giving this a try. The reason the screen just switched like that is because I waited a good like 30 seconds or more for that glitter to kind of set in place before I went in for my second layer. So I'm going to let you guys watch for a second. I'm going to come back with some more thoughts after I finish this, and when I'm activating, I'll talk to you about the activator, and then we'll go on to top coat. So hang in there and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to get into Activator. It is my understanding that you need to use the Activator that comes with the Delicate Dip Liquid set. The base and top coat have no scent. Like I could not, I sniffed them. I would not ordinarily do that, but I sniffed them and they do not have a scent. The Activator does have a scent and it smells, oddly enough, like mothballs. Weirdest thing ever, but it does. And it worked. And again, I did not have any dip flu response. Like I didn't have any congestion or sniffles from this. So it indicates to me that really the base and the top coat are the biggest culprits of dip flu, I don't know, reactions, if you will. So the Activator worked great. It made my dip nice and hard and solid. And I went ahead and filed and buffed as per usual and had zero issues. And again, I had made kind of a mess with this application, like messier than I had in a while. And here we are, filed and buffed. Everything came out nice and clean. Notice my pinky and my index finger do not have like a big teal smudge around the fingertip. Like they cleaned up totally fine. And I don't use soap or anything during the filing process. It's just I scrub with water and a scrub brush afterwards. So now I am applying my second Activator. I wanted to use the Delicate Dip top coat so that I could demonstrate that for you guys and walk you through the process. My typical will probably still be my gel base and top coat since that is my preference. But if you have gel allergies and you want to stick with dip liquids, then this is how it's going to go. So I applied the Activator and waited for 45 seconds. After 45 seconds, I took a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a lint-free wipe and wiped each nail like you're seeing. Nothing more, nothing less than that, just wipe them off. And then waited another 45 seconds. So the process came from one of the Delicate Dip liquid testers. This is how she found to work best, and so I was like, I'm gonna follow that. So you apply your first layer of dip top coat very similarly to a standard dip top coat, but the difference is going to be the timing between the two top coats. So again, Activator, wait for like 45 seconds, rub with alcohol, wait for another 30 to 45 seconds, and then go in with your dip top coat. So first layer, I'm doing 2 to 3 swipes over the nail, not lingering. I didn't want my brush to harden or anything like that. And then wiping that brush on the paper towel before going back into the bottle. So I'm keeping the Activator from getting back into my dip top coat bottle. So now that I've applied the first layer, I'm gonna set my timer, because I'm not used to this, and wait 2 whole minutes before my second coat. I would never do this with regular dip liquids. I would think it was way too long and that my top coat was never going to dry, because with regular dip top coat, your second application kind of goes immediately following your first one. So my understanding from the Delicate Dip liquid testers was that if you applied this like regular dip top coat, you didn't get like a beautiful glossy finish. And like, who doesn't want a beautiful glossy finish on their nails? So I followed the directions. I wish I could remember the gal's name in the testing group who shared this with us, but if I can think of it, I'll pop it in here. She said to wait 2 minutes between your first top coat application and your second one, and she had like gorgeous glossy manis. And I was like, that's what I want. That's what I'm going to do. So that's what I did here. And I will tell you guys, I was scared. I thought that dip top coat, I was like, it's not going to dry. The Activator is not going to cure the top coat. But it sure as heck did. And it was gorgeous. So 2 minutes between your first coat and your second coat is the magic number. And this is what you're going to get. So I didn't wait like, maybe 2 minutes. And then I was like, oh my gosh, they're dry. They're glossy. They're so pretty. I loved this combination so much. I was really pleased with how easily everything filed up after I had made such a hot mess of it. And that is my feedback on the Delicate Dip liquids. Look at that glitter. Isn't it so pretty? Oh, I was in love. So just so you guys know, I almost forgot to tell you, this is going to be my only upload this week. My husband and I are going out of town with some friends for a couple days, and I do not have Saturday's upload ready. So I'm sorry, but I will not be here on the weekend, but I will be back next week. So I'm going to finish this mani with my Candi skincare as I always do. Check out the discount code in the box below for anything that you might need from Candi Skincare or multiple other brands that are listed there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope if you are a dip flu sufferer that this is something you can try out, and I really hope that it just like is magic for you. So I am wiping that cuticle oil off of my nails just because sometimes it makes like an interesting sheen, and I wanted you guys to see these nails in all their beautiful glossy glory. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye now.